Where you go, JD?
Robert, I hesitate to ask this question given the recent weeks, but just give us the injury roll call to start with, please, if you can.
Yeah, look, from last week, we obviously unfortunately lost Fenton Rodgers, which looks like he's a Liz Frank, which looks like he's going to be, a fair few months on the sidelines. And we're already, a depleted middle squad. So yeah, it's really unfortunate news, not only for us as a team and as a group, but also for Fenny, because he's only young. Sometimes people forget how young Fenny is, but in rugby terms, as a middle, he's a young, aggressive, tough middle. I feel like the more games he plays, the better he'll become. And I felt like he had a good, as I've said previous, that there's a lot of young lads that are playing long minutes, and he's been getting some decent minutes, and I think he were getting better and better. So yeah, very disappointing for not only him but for us as well. So yeah, that's one thing. Then Leyland came from Ulkiar. The Giants' curse, unfortunately. He went on the field, and his very first tackle, in the first tackle that he did, he knocked himself out. And it's only on reflection that I look back. I didn't actually see it at the time. Obviously, I was watching it or engrossed in the action myself. I went to him at half time, and I was speaking to him, and he looked really, really dazed. He looked like he didn't really know where he was or what was going on. So it was me that actually went into the doctor, because one want to look after the players first and foremost, but second, I didn't want him going on and missing tackles or dropping balls and not knowing what was going on. He was new to the side anyway. I had a little word with the doc. The doc checked him over and pretty much went, "Oh yeah, he's sparked out over there. He has no idea where he is or what he's doing." So once again, that's put a little bit of pressure on us, because obviously we managed to get a loan signing in. As soon as we got him in, he's back out.
Well, there must be an upside. Have you got returnees this week?
There is an upside. Wilson. There's an upside. Ollie Wilson's obviously off his ban, which is, look, he's probably been one of his best forwards this year. I think although he's been on the beaten side, I think he's been really good. I think his carries are phenomenal. He whacks in D, and I think England selectors should always be looking at each and every team and making opinions not on the team's performance but on the individual's performance. And I think he's been really good on the beaten side. Look, if we were on the front foot and scoring 40 points every week, I think he'd be even better. He'd probably stand out even more so. So the fact he's doing that when we're losing on the back foot, I think he's definitely should be a selection headache for Sean Wayne.
I know you've previously said that you're looking into why there's this glut of injuries, especially soft tissue, calves, things like that. Have you come to any opinion or in the short term? Is there anything that's glaringly obvious?
No, not yet. I mean, we've obviously gone through the loading, the patterns, the loading patterns, and we've gone about everything. The field, we're obviously on a 4G pitch, so we've been looking at that. It hasn't been just a one-stop thing where we're just looking at one specific thing. We're actually going in with an open mind, really, and having a bit of it's a bit of an open canvas, and actually just evaluating each and every department and each and every stage. There has been a lot of freak incidents this year. The ones that, for example, 30 minutes in this week with Leyland, just an head knock straight away. Zach Wolford standing on someone's foot twice when the ball's not even near him. Leroy's finger coming out. There's been lots and lots of ones that you can't really equate for, but the ones that we can look at is the soft tissue ones, and we are actually doing in-depth. Like I say, we're looking at the field. We're looking at the programme, we're looking at every aspect of what we've been doing.
The Cass have managed to do a bit of business loan-wise this week. Have you been knocked back on were you in for any of the similar sort of players?
Oh yeah, we're always trying, we're always looking. They spoke about they need to strengthen the pack, strengthen the middles. They brought in Singleton from Salford, then they've got Desiree, Hugo. And then obviously I think Amon's probably one of the best over the past few years at Leeds been one of the best props in the actual league. So they've done really, really good business of late. And yeah, everyone we seem to bring in seems to get injured or recalled straight away. So we need to, yeah, unfortunately for us, but yeah, we are where we are.
Yeah, there's probably players looking at that and saying, well, I don't want to get the curse on me. That voodoo doll that someone's got a view in the Giants' top, they need to put that down now. It's not even funny. Just talk to us about this being a derby game as well. When I think of Leeds Huddersfield derbies, I think of Luke O'Donnell and Ryan Bailey scrapping. Is there still a rivalry between Leeds and Huddersfield these days?
I think so. I think there'll always be that rivalry. You know, I spoke to the boys about some of my greatest memories. Really, we had a really good record against Leeds for a very long time. Even when they were in the pomp, we seemed to have a really good record against them, but they still went on to win things with that golden era that they had. And I remember the game you're speaking about when we had not only had Luke O'Donnell, we had Stu Fielding as well in our pack, and I felt a bit like a made man at the time. I felt like I could do anything I wanted, and no one could do anything about it. And unfortunately for us, actually, that was the year when we went on to actually do really, really well, but we lost them too. And everyone says, you know, in 13, why didn't we go on and kick on and do more? And I genuinely think that was the reason that it didn't happen, really. Luke O'Donnell went home and won a grand final with the Roosters, and Stu Fielding got a knee infection, so a normal knee clear out that pretty much ended his career. So, yeah, that were good and bad memories you've just brought back up.
Sorry, I keep doing that to you. I don't know why. The fact that, you know, the Easter's changed, hasn't it? You will well remember and will have played in 3 games in 9 days or whatever it used to be. Are we all the better for that having changed, do you feel now?
100%. But look, I think it were not only detrimental. What people got wrong is they thought it was the Easter period that killed you. It wasn't. It was the 4 or 5 weeks after that. It was the game, the accumulation of games took its toll later on. And I thought the actual league for about 4 or 5 weeks always seemed to be really flat games or blowout scores, or basically the side that have got the biggest squad with the best young kids generally won because there were so many injuries. And I know people talk about player welfare, and I don't like loop fixtures. I think they're rubbish. I think they're absolutely rubbish. I just get rid of them. I don't think the league's fair. I think you play certain teams a different amount of times. When we used to throw Easter in with that, you didn't know you were going to be, you know, you could randomly, depend on what team you were playing during that period, could really hinder or help your season. So, yeah, look, I think the league's moved forward. I think we're a better league for it. Getting rid of those tight games where players are pretty much getting injured, but if they're not getting injured, getting fatigued, and the quality of the games after that were always down a little bit, I thought. So yeah, we're definitely better for it. Just need to get rid of the loop fixtures now.
Yeah, I think Darryl Powell's questioning the fixture machine. He said, I don't know where it is or what it does, but it does throw up bizarre scenarios. You'll play a team twice within the first 7 weeks, and you don't see one team for another 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah, it's nuts. I was obviously doing. I think Leeds have played Salford twice already. I think, and then I watched another team week before, and they'd played twice another team, but not played certain teams once. And I just thought, yeah, it doesn't seem to really make sense. I don't think
it doesn't make the table representative in any shape or form, does it?
No,
until the last game, effectively.
Yeah, until the last game, and you know what? And it's one of those you play a side that's got an injury crisis potentially. You know, someone like us, and you play us twice in space of 5 weeks. It's more advantageous than it is another side when maybe we've got all those players back at the end of the year. So yeah, I'm not sure how this computer works. If it is a computer, but yeah, it's probably not. It's not a fair reflection of the league.
Just lastly, before I pass you on, could this be the sort of fixture that lifts your group to getting that first win? And what would it do for the group if you could get it this week?
Oh, it's been massive, especially as you spoke before. It's a derby still. It's still a derby. They've always been decent games over the sort of last 10, 15 years. They've always been, I think there's been 1 or 2 blowout scores, but generally they've been pretty close contests. They've been really good for the neutral, and you know, we're hoping that it's that again. I hope it's a really good game, really tight game, but we come out the other end. And look, it'd be a real shot in the arm for us. Where we're going at the moment, you know, you've got to look at us 21-man squad. There's a fair few young kids in that 21-man squad, but with that brings a little bit of enthusiasm, a little bit of that youthful exuberance that we probably need really at this moment in time. So we're hoping that them young kids can bring that to the team this week. We can get a win and it'll springboard us, you know, throughout the rest of the year.
All the best, my friend. I'll pass you over to the other James, and I'll see you on Friday.
See you, mate.
Hey, Robert.
Hi, mate.
Yeah, there's clear mitigation, but your record is your record. How much does it pay you to be sat here at 0 from 7 after 7 rounds? Yeah,
like I've said before, look, anybody with half a rugby league sort of brain understands the situation we're in and understands this isn't normal. This isn't normal, even by injuries, even by anybody else's injury sort of history. But it's still not nice, and it still pains us, and it still hurts. I've got a group that, do you know what? They're a really good group. They're a really tight group. They know we're doing it tough, but they're sticking together. They are putting the best foot forward each and every week. It still doesn't mean it still hurts just as much. It hurts just as much. But I think there's an understanding from everybody in rugby league really that this is just where we're at this moment in time. And you know, when the troops sort of start filtering back in, then we should hopefully start lifting as performances and as results. But I don't see why we still can't get a result with the young kids that we've got out and the players playing out of position. You know, if we scrap hard enough, then hopefully we can get the first result.
But if you've got to look at it, that there's only 7 rounds.
Recording stopped.
You still.
It's not.
What's happening?
It's all right. We're on. All
right. Yeah, just looking at that, there's only 7 rounds gone. You've still got 20 rounds to recover the situation.
Oh look, we understand the situation when we're not covering his eyes and hiding from the situation. We need to win games and get some points on the board. We also understand the situation when regarding players, everyone playing out of position. You know, young kids getting opportunities and still learning the trade and still getting, you know, that valuable experience, but we need to win games. So yeah, we are only early on in the season. You know, hopefully when the troops start coming back, we can start climbing the ladder and getting some points on the board. It is only early on in the season, and I still have faith that the group that we're putting out, we can scrap a win somewhere. We just need to scrap that first one.
Yeah. You'll have a whiteboard somewhere with all the injuries on if you've got enough room. When will it, if you don't have any other issues, when will it start to get better?
It was supposed
to like troops going back at the same time.
Yeah, it was supposed to be last week. The board said last week. So originally the start of the season, it were all about last week's game when we. But then obviously we lost people on the way. We should start getting a few bodies back around that magic time. So around magic. Now, don't get me wrong, a few of those players have been out for months. So I am expecting miracles straight away, but I am expecting a little bit of experience and a little bit of nouns coming back and leadership coming back into the team around Magic.
And then you've got a 2-week break, haven't you? So it should be after that when you start to hopefully see.
Hopefully we'll start seeing a little bit of sunshine over the hills.
Yeah, no, fingers crossed for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.